Are you on a soul's journey knowing that there must be more to life? Have you put yourself on a path of healing and personal development, trying all the different podcasts, modalities, processes, and yet you're still not getting the results that you're after? In fact, trying all of these different modalities can actually start to create that belief, okay, what's wrong with me? And then that reinforces, okay, I'm not enough, like this isn't working. Well, I'm here today to completely wipe the slate clean on all of that and provide you with the 8 steps to get what you want. These steps are the steps that I use to create the life that I want, and they're the exact same steps I use with clients to manifest and create exactly what they want. Be that travel, the car, paying off the mortgage, having the home of their dreams. And in fact, these particular steps also work with your health. So they're incredible and they've proven to work time and time again. When you've got these steps, the steps work for you if you're following them in the order that they are. So today I want to share these steps with you and also help resolve that not enough feeling so that when you do have your head held high, feeling into that pure self-worth, radiating that confidence, people start to take notice. It's like, oh wow, I'll have what she's having because you've got it. You've got the steps that you need to be able to create the life that you want. So if you're ready to jump all in, then let's get started. This is exciting. I want you to think about the big things that you want. That might be the new car, the travel, paradise, being able to tap your card confidently knowing that there's money in the bank, the beautiful love life. Maybe it's your home being your perfect sanctuary. And now, without dropping the energy too much, I want you to notice that you've been tolerating a life without it. Today, what I want to provide you is the 8 steps to get what you want so that you do get the beautiful things that you want and stop tolerating all of the limitations, the not enoughness, the shoulds, and everything that brings your energy down. These particular steps, as I've said, are amazing. They get results every single time. The first step, you have to define what you want. Taking out some time for you to have that beautiful Sunday afternoon, let go of all of your surroundings and really reflect in that hand on the heart. What do I want? And this is your time to get really specific, be unapologetic, and notice that when you get really clear on what you want, the universe is going to respond to that clarity. Instead of the indecision, the confusion, the hesitation, get clear on what you want. The next step here is to understand why you want what you want. I encourage you to explore the deeper motivation behind your desires. What does that thing represent for you? Now, in this experience, I'm going to share the example of wanting the black 4-wheel drive. So yes, I know what I want. I want that black 4-wheel drive. And then here with this step, why do you want what you want? You may see that that car represents freedom, safety, power. And it's like, okay, cool. These are the things that I want more of in my life. So we've got it. We know what we want. We know why we want it. And then we need to check in and notice that what you want outside of yourself may actually be missing from within. So wanting that black 4-wheel drive, noticing that it's external to you. It represents power, safety, security. And then checking in, is that missing from within? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel secure? Do you feel, like there's that, that oomph within who you are? Because the truth is, if you already had those qualities within you, then you wouldn't actually be drawn to the thing outside of you. So a new car, that black 4-wheel drive, again, it may represent that freedom, that safety, that power. How safe, how powerful do you feel within? Now, this is going to give you lots of clues on what needs to be worked on so that you can actually create and manifest what you want. So many times people will spend a whole lot of time on counseling, coaching, healing modalities, exploring all the things, different beliefs, different all the things, as well as knowing that the coach themselves have their agenda or their projection or their areas of what has worked for them. So we're taking out the mystery now of knowing what needs to be worked on. So you don't have to spend decades on this. It's like, okay, notice the thing outside of you. What do you want? What does it represent? Like, AKA, like, why do you want it? And then notice that there's going to be limiting beliefs about lack of freedom, feeling insecure, and that sense of powerlessness. So in a coaching session, like, we know what we're working on. The next step is to look at the resistance. So to manifest or to create what you want, you need to recognize what's holding you back. Because creating what you want, knowing that your goals are non-negotiable, we can call it manifesting, we can call it goal setting, hitting your target. Either way, all of this comes back to your ideas turning into reality. And that's actually what manifesting means. When we hear the word manifest being used in the medical world, we'll hear them say, like, that illness manifested itself into a tumor. And of course, we're not here to manifest in the yuck stuff, but we're definitely here to say, okay, what are the ideas? What's within you so that you can start to see it reflected on the outside? And so this is why we're checking in. Okay, what's holding you back? Again, in the car example, what's caused you to feel a lack of freedom? What's caused you to have that belief about being insecure, not enough? Where are you handing your power away? What is going on with this? And we've now got really specific clues on, again, what needs to be worked on in coaching, healing, whatever's right for you. Now, this is the piece that's usually missing from a lot of the social media kind of rituals of, I don't know, burn leaves or, have your crystals out. You can do all of those things if they make you feel good and powerful. But the piece that's been missing from a lot of the secret ways to manifest is to recognize, again, that thing that you want outside of you is representing the thing that's missing from within. And that could be that beautiful home, it can be the travel, it can even be your health. And that's where I like to work with clients when it comes to burnout or health issues. Like, oh, Claire, I'm feeling so tired in life. Like, I want what I want. I'm pushing hard. It's not working. And it's like, uh-huh. So you're feeling burnt out. You want the energy that's outside of you. Like, you're seeing everybody else have energy. Then we need to work through why your health is going in the direction that it's going. So this is where I ask you to consider that you've already manifested in the limitations that you have in your life. You're manifesting all the time. This isn't like a 10-minute thing that you wake up and you do a meditation. You are manifesting all the time. And so if you have manifested in the lack of freedom or not enoughness, we're going to flip the script and we're going to check in, could your insecurity actually be protecting you? Now, this is where the magic happens with manifesting. I want you to consider that we absolutely all have a need to belong, to know that we matter, to be seen, heard, and valued. My question to you is, how do you know when you're seen, heard, and valued? Well, this comes from the structure in which we were taught when we were growing up. Our family dynamics, our caregivers gave us the roadmap for their way of being seen, heard, and mattered, valued. So everything that you've been taught to grow up with about you should be a good girl or you should be helping others or you should put others first, all of these beliefs about how you need to be to fit into that family, this is what we value as a family. These are some of the dynamics that are actually, well, they ensured your survival growing up as a child, but as an adult, we need to check in, are they still working for you? Now, if your parents were often stressed, overwhelmed, you may have felt that inconsistency of not really knowing where you stand, not really and knowing, is mum going to be in a bad mood? So do I need to like make sure that the house is quiet? Is dad going to come home, in a good mood or a bad mood or be controlling? Okay, then I need to, whatever you think you need to do, go clean the house. I need to do all of this. And so we're trained when we're little to find ways to adapt, to keep the peace. So we kind of shrink because as a child, you don't actually have the choice to leave. Like, guys, you are doing stress out, this place is chaotic. I'm leaving. You don't have that option as a child. What you do have is an incredible strategy to survive, and you start putting in place rules about how you should be, how you should belong, how you should be seen, how you should be heard. And again, this can be all from that place of insecurity to ensure your survival and your belonging. You may have found growing up that when you asked for what you wanted, and maybe you needed shoes or maybe you wanted ice cream, whatever it is, and your mum's response is already quite tense with that or something. Your unconscious mind is going to pick up on this to say, okay, whenever I ask for what I want, I'm actually adding more stress to the home. I'm actually adding more problems to myself where I'm trying to avoid the stress. And so asking for what I want increases the stress. And now your nervous system now has a rule about not asking for support or not trusting support. There's going to be consequences to asking for what you want. Growing up, when you get into that adult space, if you've always been putting yourself second, putting everybody else's needs ahead of yours, then you're always going to be looking to somebody else for that acceptance, that validation, that approval. You are going to overgive. You are going to check in. You're going to have that intuition, that psychic sense to constantly scan the room, to check what everybody else needs to keep the peace. And in fact, a nervous system like this has a rule or a guide to say, if I keep people close, then I can do all the things that I need to make sure everybody's okay. So we then get into a pattern of going, okay, I'm worrying about what other people think. I'm hesitating to ask what I want because I don't want to be selfish. Like I feel guilty asking for what I want. They're so good to me in that moment, so I need to make sure I overcompensate. There are all of these layers from childhood that now create adult relationships that make you feel insecure, that make you feel like you don't have freedom to ask for what you want. You're now feeling into that not enoughness because there's not enough that you can do to make sure other adults are okay. And sidestepping this, if this is about your self-worth, where you don't feel secure or powerful or not enoughness, you're actually going to attract in and manifest in takers. You're going to actually attract in people that put themselves on a pedestal. Life is about them, more on the narcissistic side, may I say. And so you get value from giving, 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 and they get value from taking. The moment that you say, hey, what about me? Like, that's not how this relationship works. And so the whole system puts you back into that childhood role because that need to survive, belong, matter is so, so important. And truth be told, growing up, instead of the healthy grown-ups teaching you to have that internal validation, which comes down as simple as like, which spoon do you want when you're little and, dinner time? Do you want this spoon or that spoon? Building that internal validation is not there. So what you do is then you make it about everybody else. Okay, what do you need to keep the peace? What do I need to do for you? Da, 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 da. And then in adulthood, it's like, okay, I don't know how to do this. And so we attach to people that can tell us, okay, what to do. And then we just get in that cycle of not enoughness. So with so much of the emphasis on pleasing others, oh, that's exhausting. That's the recipe for burnout, stress, anxiety, health issues, because you think about it, if you know that you're doing a good job based on somebody else's validation, you could show up to work at like 5 in the morning and leave at 9 o'clock at night. There is not enough of what you could do to ensure that you actually get to hear from somebody else, like, yeah, that's a good job, well done. So there's so much of an emphasis of giving, doing, shooting, pleasing that creates that burnout. And it's like, gosh, if only I just had that pocket of time with a car and I could have some freedom and time to recharge. No, it's not going to work like that because we've already got the undercurrent of not feeling good enough. And when it comes to manifesting, the universe will reflect that. The universe is not like Santa, where if you're a good girl or a good boy, you're on the good list, you're going to get rewarded for how much you did for others. No, it works within frequency of how good you feel about yourself, your self-worth, and how you hold yourself to a level of boundaries, your values, everything that's important to you. So if you're a good person, putting yourself first out in the world, then yeah, people are like, oh, wow. What is she doing? What is he doing? I want more of that. And it's like you radiate out that authenticity instead of the scarcity thing that's going on. So the insecurities can sound like I can't afford that. It's selfish to ask for more. Things I want get taken away. Who am I to even want more than others? And again, this can show up in justifications like I can't afford that. The current belief underneath that is sitting there going, I have a lack of freedom. Like I can't afford that. And I'd have to check in, with my husband or somebody else or somebody else to validate and say, yeah, that's actually a good decision. So it's like, no, I can't afford that. That's the mask. That's not real. That's not true. It's coming back to that lack of freedom and coming back to that childhood, like I don't get to choose, like people tell me what to do. And so then you get into that loop of like more financial blocks. So here's the thing with your nervous system and your unconscious mind. Even though the road may seem bumpy, maybe you're feeling into self-doubt, limitations, hard work. It's familiar. It's familiar. And it has proven to ensure your survival up to now. So your unconscious mind, your limiting beliefs, everything like that says, why would, like, hold on, like what we've done has always worked. Why are you asking for more? It's incredibly like risky asking for more. And again, it has to work so hard to lie to you like that, to get you to hold on to old childhood programs. Instead of actually saying, if I pursue my passion with excitement, if I ask for what I want, head held high, feeling great, having the energy to back me up, the support comes in, the money comes in, the relationships that really reflect that healthy self-esteem start to come in, and you manifest in that smooth ride. So step 4 here is to start to shift those limiting beliefs. Now, I don't get to choose. Like, what caused you to decide that? What caused you to decide you can't have what you want? This is all childhood stuff, guys. So going off on a clear tangent as I do, because it's not here on the slides, but growing up, your little brain is all programmed at that, or sorry, I should say, like a sponge when you're little. It is soaking in the how do I do human? How do I be in this world? It is just taking in everything that it needs to know to be able to grow up and survive in this world. The logical mind hasn't actually formed when you're little. So none of this is logical. If your parents tell you that the sky is purple, it's like, okay, the sky is purple. That's how we do things. And if your parents say to you that the moon is made of cheese, it's like, okay, cool. And then what happens when you start to grow up, that logical mind seals in those limiting beliefs. And it's like, this is how it is now. Some of those things that you've learned help you, like you've learned how to walk, you've learned how to open doors, you've learned how to do what you need to do. So it's like, yeah, good, seal that in. I don't have to think too much or relearn it every time I need to walk. So some of it's good. But as an adult, it's like, well, actually, some of these beliefs are not working for me. Maybe the moon isn't made of cheese. Maybe I don't have to work hard for money. Maybe there's an easier way. And so this is where we come back to having to access the beliefs where they're formed within the unconscious mind to penetrate the logical layers to the unconscious mind where it's programmed what it thinks is true. And so this is where we can create really big changes in people, especially with their money story and their self-worth and their abundance, because we're no longer living to old, outdated programs and old, outdated stories. I was like, yeah, okay, let's shift this. So, to manifest in the fun things that you deeply desire, that your intuition is craving, we need to clear away that resistance, right? We need to get really honest about the limiting beliefs, releasing the old identity, unwinding all of the fears that are actually keeping away the things that you want. It's crazy to think like, yes, the car that you want is actually there. But with your beliefs in place of like, oh, I don't deserve that, I'm not enough, I'm like powerless, you're pushing that away based on the limitations. It is, yeah, crazy in a good way. So these beliefs that you can't ask for what you want are shaped in childhood. They're also shaped equally with love and that safety. So if you were taught when you were little to be agreeable or be invisible, taught to hold mum's hand when you cross the road, like at what point in time do we learn or undo that belief like we actually don't need to hold mum's hand to cross the road? Like these are beliefs that sit there and potentially even teach you or have a belief that the world's not safe. I've got to hold mum's hand. So wanting more can actually feel like a threat to your belonging. It can feel like a challenge to what you already know is the rule book of life. And so then your nervous system is going to put up a wall. It's going to find justifications and excuses why you can't have what you want. It won't work for me. I can't have what I want. I'm not ready. And so it's like, okay, that's a lot of noise to live with in your nervous system. That's going to create a lot of health issues too. So do you need those old limitations to protect you now? Really quickly here, I can't afford that. What are you prioritizing instead? It's selfish to ask for more. Sounds like a parent's belief when they were trapped in scarcity. Things I want always get taken away. Again, sounds like fear from the past where you were punished and the thing that you wanted got taken off you. Who am I to have more than others? Okay, what's going on here with the comparison and the judgment? Like, okay, what is going on? Because a sick person isn't in the place to be able to help people, and a poor person, I should say, is not in the position to help many people if they continue that poverty path. So who am I to want more? Like, you are you. You were born to be a leader. Like, want more so that you can share more and share the skills with people, how they can also come out of the limitations. So when you change it from I can't afford that to a new truth, like I get to choose what I want. Ooh, it's selfish to ask for more. Well, the more I have, the more I can share. Things I want always get taken away. It's like, well, freedom is wherever I am. Like you can't take my peace away. Who am I to have more than others? It's my success on my terms. So this is when the adult you starts to feel more important to live by your standards, to lead your life based on your intuition and your passion and what excites you, instead of following a life path based on worrying what your mother will think or upsetting your mother. Like she could be it's okay. She could be upset, and then you can come together as adults and and make her feel important. She did a great job, instilling the values that you have, and now you are going to choose this and that you're always going to come back home to her, that she is safe. So, yeah, are you living by your standards or by somebody else's standards? Now, the next piece here is rehearsing having what you want. It hasn't arrived yet, the car's not in your driveway. But once you started to release the limitations, freedom denied, insecurity, powerlessness, your energy has changed. You are no longer in that lower energy of depression and sleepless nights and burnout. Your energy has changed because it's like, oh, I get to choose freedom. Your nervous system is like, oh, cool, I can breathe. I can choose to eat really good, healthy food. I'm feeling incredible. So you're no longer attracting in lack. You're attracting in what you value about yourself. And you're even showing up differently in your world to the people who are used to you being the old ways. Like, oh, wow, okay, things are changing. So I invite you to imagine then that if you're already feeling this good, and imagine that you're behind the wheel in your new car, this is about how you are, the direction that you get to move forward, hands on your steering wheel of life, and allow yourself to embody that power, the importance, the sense of self-security. And notice that your energy is like, oh, yeah, okay, it's not missing, it's already there. I am powerful. More of this visualization, more of this energetic rehearsal starts to teach your nervous system that it's safe to be powerful. Like you keep gaining the evidence that, like, when I go out in the world and I actually say no, thank you, instead of always saying yes, it's like, oh, wow, I can say no and feel powerful. I can say yes to what I want, worrying about what other people, without worrying about other people's judgments. I can now show up with that high sense of self-worth. And now, wherever I go, wherever I travel, I feel powerful. I feel good. I have great conversations. Doors start to open. There's more choice. And because you've now got that in your energy field, you're feeling great. And in fact, you don't even need the car to prove your worth. You don't need the external masking thing to say that you're important because you already feel significant within yourself. You feel secure. You're trusting yourself. You're trusting your self-worth. Things have changed in your world and things are feeling a lot clearer. And remember, the universe is not responding to how hard you work, it's mirroring what you believe about yourself. So instead of, again, that Santa analogy, oh, I'm being good, I'm doing the hard work. It's like, no, I am a good person. I'm going to ask for what I want. There's the self-worth, there's the boundaries, there's the feeling great and radiating that for other people around you. So your intuition has actually done its job. It's actually done its job. It's in your intuition giving you that pulse of excitement or curiosity. Okay, I want the black four-wheel drive. I want the travel. I want the house. I want the whatever. It's like it was always getting you to get out of that stuck hole, elevate your energy, elevate your values, elevate your beliefs, your intuition by getting your attention on the material thing has now got you to do what's on your soul's journey to rise to the occasion. And now you're attracting in based on who you are, free to enjoy life on your terms. This is when you then get that sense of excitement of like, oh, actually, I might start to show up. I might actually start to, look at selling my car, exploring the financial options. Yes, it may feel like, oh gosh, can I afford this? Like, yes, I can because I'm feeling great and I just got that new job promotion and all the things are lining up. I was like, well, if I can do this, what else is possible? And so you handle that paperwork with authority, say yes when the offer lands, and wouldn't you know it, you get this impulse one day to go buy that car. It has the car at the perfect price. Everything lines up. It's with confidence, and it's not a coincidence. Everything's lining up to attract in exactly what you want. So now is the fun piece here where you get to receive. And it's really strange, guys. I know when I've done this myself, when you go to pick up the car, your nervous system has already rehearsed having it. Your beliefs, your mind have already accepted this is who you are. So you look like one of those weird people when you're picking up your car that you don't have to perform to like, oh my God, like for the whole validation and this is exciting. You actually come in with a sense of neutral, calm confidence to receive what you want. It's already here. It was always there. You're now catching up with the manifestation. And of course, you can do this when it comes to the holiday that you want. Most times when people are wanting security, that financial security, a lot of the time they say, I just need rest. Like I just need that holiday. And it's like, okay, well, if that holiday represents security, this rest, being able to say no to people without the guilt, we now have the roadmap on what needs to be worked on. If you are wanting to pay off your mortgage because in childhood, dad gambled the house away and, I'm craving to have that sense of, again, security to know that I come home to a place where it is mine. It's like, okay, cool. Then let's clear away all of the childhood stuff that's holding back, going, oh my gosh, I could lose the house, so I don't manifest the house. We're like, no, 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 let's rewrite this. Could go on with the list when it comes to six figures or more, the business of your dreams, the clients that you want, anything that you want here is like, okay, something outside of you represents what you want. And now it's showing up where the limitations are within you. Like with business, it's like, okay, I want more clients. It's like, well, how safe do you feel to be seen? How safe do you feel to be heard? Because you have a message that needs to be shared and offer a service, and yet it's like, oh, but when I was a child and spoke up about what was important to me, I'm like, that didn't go so well. So it's like, okay, nervous system, you're not a child anymore. We can rewrite the rules. So hopefully this is making sense, because it's incredible when things shift. Now, some people come to me and say, well, okay, but it's not divine timing. And I'm like, your soul does not care how long it takes for you to get this lesson. You can learn this hard work, working hard, burnout path. You can do this for lifetimes. Your soul is not aware of time. It doesn't care how many lifetimes it takes. What it does care about is you getting the aha to tap into your self-worth, your confidence, feeling empowered. So when you start to state, I want this, my goals are non-negotiable, I will do the work to raise up and let go of those limitations. I feel like, yeah, just to release all of that. It's like, awesome. You're the CEO of your life. You are now empowered. The universe stops stalling and it starts to respond, and it will start to accelerate your manifestation. And I've seen this firsthand, and I've shared this before in my videos, going from domestic violence, homelessness, to paying cash for my home, owning my home, like do the inner work on the victim energy, the scarcity, the fear, what will people think, all of that. And then like, no, opportunities will find you. And so I've done this plenty of times with me, for clients and everything else. The divine timing is up to you when you make it. And of course, when you're doing all of the good things on that healing journey, health restores, the finances get better, more fun. People start asking, okay, what's your secret? The right mentors show up, the path clears, opportunities start to find you. You get that, oh, I was thinking of you, and I've got this opportunity. Do you want in? You're like, yeah, actually, I do. And so now you're pursuing what you want in life from passion and excitement, instead of the limiting scarcity and fear and worry. So we're on that path to elevate your energy so that, yeah, you show up feeling to that self-worth. Oh, incredible, right? So I've got to say, if this has stirred something deep within you, I say trust that, trust your intuition. It's an invitation to hit subscribe or check out my website. I have plenty of abundant tools to share with everybody. There's no paywalls there. It's just like, go and play in the energy, because when we're all manifesting in that self-worth, feeling great, it's like, awesome. How can this get any better? You don't have to push harder. You just need to know what to work on to get results. I'm Claire Chancellor, and I look forward to our next conversation. Bye, guys.